Hey there, fellow fish enthusiasts. Ever heard of a fish that defies the norms of underwater breeding? Well, today's video is about to dive deep into the fascinating world of the splash tetra, a fish that has mastered the art of survival in the wild Amazonian waters. But why, you ask, does this unique fish lay its eggs outside the water? Stick around, and you'll uncover the jaw-dropping evolutionary twist behind this behavior that involves daring leaps, clinging to leaves, and an unconventional method of protecting its precious eggs from a myriad of hungry predators lurking below. Are you ready to dive into the extraordinary world of the splash tetra? Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and let's embark on an adventure that will leave you hooked and craving more. Why does this fish lay its eggs outside the water? Because it is frequently utilized to highlight the amazing and bizarre aspects of the world of freshwater fish as well as the diversity of fish found in the Amazon. The splash tetra is a member of an elite club. Its unique breeding method, in which partners jump out of the water, cling to a leaf above the water, and deposit eggs, earns it its name. After they descend back into the water, the male splashes water on the eggs to keep them moist. What is the cause of this evolutionary change? Predation, or rather, their attempt to evade it, as there are literally thousands of fish species in the waterways of the Amazon that could consider splash tetra eggs to be food. Fish have plenty of room to eat and reproduce in the jungle because to the annual flooding of the Amazon River and its tributaries. It also brings with it an abundance of overhanging plants, or at least there used to be, and the splash tetra found a niche for itself while also securing its position in natural history books and television broadcasts. Although it can sometimes be sold and listed under its synonym, Capino arnoldi, Capella arnoldi is the true scientific name for the splash tetra. Just Capella arnoldi, named for ichthyologists Edward Rinker Cope and J. Paul Arnold, adopts the extreme terrestrial breeding strategy. Other related genera of similarly shaped fish include Pyrrolina and Capina. However, despite their superficial similarity, these fish are occasionally confused for the real splash tetra. Cyanaldi, like many other fish found in the lower Amazon, is acclimated to warm, soft, acidic water that is tainted by tannins from the leaves and branches of trees. A further benefit of depositing eggs in the air could be oxygen, as warm acid pools that are abundant in organic matter also have low oxygen levels. Water can be as hot as 30 degrees Celsius, and the pH can go as low as 4 and never rise above 7. The splash tetra prefers classic Amazonian water conditions, thus aquariums that mimic those water parameters and designs will showcase the fish to the best advantage. When completely grown, the male splash tetra is just 5 centimeters in length, although it grows larger than the female. Some people would never consider their fish to be a nano fish for little cube tanks, even though they are tiny fish. Instead, they would prefer to watch them swimming in the higher levels of tanks. Keep water flow to a minimum. Use wood and leaves over sand or soil as the substrate if you want to maintain the biotope environment. Since acid pools have dark water that absorbs light and depletes nutrition, true aquatic vegetation is rare. If you're in the mood for some greenery, you may try some floating plants or some philodendron houseplants that are growing above the water, their leaves and stalks dripping in the liquid. A glass vivarium built up with water at the bottom and jungle flora above could be called a paludarium, and it would be a modern spin on the splash tetra environment. Splash tetras live in a very natural, ecologically rich tank that is, in theory, the perfect location for them to spawn because you can regulate the temperature and humidity above the water's surface. It is not a bad idea to maintain splash tetras in shallow tanks, such as the water sections of vivariums. The majority of small surface living aquarium species only live in relatively shallow waters in the wild, according to my anecdotal observations, and they only inhabit the higher water levels in nature. They would be slain by predators from below if they went out above the surface in deep, natural waters. Hatchetfish are too sensitive for most groups, but they would make wonderful companions in a tank. What about Tenucara dwarf cichlids or Biotoicus? Both find it really cozy and soft, and they both feel that more specialized tank buddies are needed than hustle and bustle communities. The splash tetra is a surface eater with an upturned mouth and a slung-back dorsal fin, which means it will mostly feed on floating food. Small terrestrial insects that descend from above, tiny insects that hatch from aquatic larvae at the surface, and microscopic life that can be slurped from the motionless surface layer would all be examples of this in the environment.